Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner, Albert Kempman. Once a year, Al, we like to have a college football preview. The king is here. It actually starts this week. I get a charge out of the term week 0. I'm not quite sure what it means, but I know one thing. If you have a game, you better be ready.
Yeah, they don't call it week 0 and say you lose, so it didn't count. And so it's the real deal. When George and I do our college football preview, we never fit in with the ESPN. We never fit in with somebody else. We're going to leave some teams out. Now, if we threw out Alabama, then you should turn us off.
You wouldn't watch any. No.
Yeah, because everybody knows they have the best 5 stars in the country, and they aren't going anywhere with Saban coaching.
And Bryce Young, a quarterback,
Yes.
is he the leading Heisman candidate?
By far.
Okay.
By far. It's him and C.J. Stroud from Ohio State. And they got Jahmyr Gibbs moved in from Georgia Tech. People raving about him.
Tell them about what we heard.
Yeah, in the going against first team defense, they couldn't tackle him.
This was last year after he left Georgia Tech. The Tide was getting ready for the bowl.
And they said this preseason he's even got stronger and better.
Jeez.
Not an old-fashioned Alabama back like Derrick Henry who just ran you over, or Mark Ingram. You used to see, and he's the guy that's going to make you miss and go for a touchdown.
I used to have a buddy. I'd tell Al, he'd call me. He'd go, "Did you see that? Did you see that?" He goes, "He ran him over." Those guys lower. I told you, the kid from Newcastle make a business decision one night. Henry they were running out the clock, Tennessee.
Hooker.
And he got into the second
No,
level.
not Marcus.
And he did a great job.
Yeah,
Malik,
Hooker did. Malik Hooker,
he just took a dive at his feet, which was a business decision. And he didn't quite catch him, and I don't think he was sorry.
Yeah, so Alabama said, okay, we need to get better to win the national championship. So we'll get Harrell, Louisville's all-time receivers. We'll get Burton, one of Georgia's great receivers. We'll go get Ricks on defense, LSU's defensive back, one of their best defensive backs. Nothing stops them. They have Will Anderson back, who will be one of 4 guys favored for the Heisman as a defensive player.
You know, I thought about putting a few shekels on him.
I did already.
Because I thought, if he can do what Lawrence Taylor did, get that out there. Remember
he's out early.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yes.
Who'd you say that about?
Pickett.
Pickett?
It cost
Pickett.
Pickett.
Pickett. That's who it was.
No, Pitt was asleep.
Yeah. Well, they already have Anderson out there. They're campaigning for 2 guys on the team, Young and Anderson.
That'll hurt them.
Yeah. So that's.
Hey, who's the new line coach?
That's
Our buddy Eric Wolf. By the way, Coach, the best to you. You treated us great when you were at YSU. We're big fans. And I got to figure you're one step from the big time. When you're at Alabama, you're one step from an 8-figure job.
You'll notice that it's like a factory at Alabama. It's like he's the same as the Magic Genie. He snaps his fingers, win 11 games or 12 or 13 games, and all of a sudden, all right, who had their offensive line was good. Let's hire their offensive line coach. Yeah, that's a good tool. That's a good way to do it.
No, absolutely. And there, you've seen the faces at that coaches meeting.
Right.
They're all
in.
Are any of them comfortable?
Yeah, they're all uncomfortable for a reason.
He fired Lane Kiffin the week of the championship. Yeah. I'm going to tell you again, he was not what he thought up to task. I don't know if he had his hat on backwards or not. It might have contributed.
Right.
Next thing you know, the week of the title game, gone.
Yeah, so when you have that many wins and that stature that Nick Saban has, you can do anything you want, really. He's more powerful than anybody in the state, to tell you the truth.
Oh, no.
I don't think there's any doubt in my mind.
No. I would figure if you gave one of those kids a knee, you'd have to move.
Yeah.
If they put your email out on Fine
The professors will they'll get ran out of town in a minute. If they do they blink at one of their kids in class. No. They're out.
If he's in the back row and he's got his head down, guess what? Let's talk Ohio State, because I'd say I have those 2, and I have a half a notch to Georgia. Now, I don't have 4 notches, but I have these 2.
I have the same thing.
Okay.
I have the exact same thing.
Talk about Ohio State.
And I think Ohio State would beat Alabama because the one thing that really causes Alabama problems is a quarterback that can run and pass. All the great things Nick Saban does, he still can't stop that well. And
what do we got? Kelly's nephew.
C.J. Stroud right
Kelly's
there.
nephew and Johnny Football. Yeah. We have some proof.
Yeah. And you can't just load up on him on Stroud because you got Trayvon Henderson, who just, if you'll watch him play, there's nothing normal. He'll be a first-round pick for sure.
Absolutely.
We talked to many people that said their receivers are all pros.
Oh.
Every one of them are pros. And we know for sure because we watched Fleming play in high school in Pennsylvania, come out as number 1 wide receiver.
It's his
couldn't get
third
on the
year,
field.
and he plays some.
Now he's getting on the field this year.
He had a touchdown.
Yeah, he's getting on the field this year.
They brought Knowles in.
That's big.
Yeah.
For all the talk we talk,
Yeah.
the only way they're going to win that national championship, they don't have to be great defensively, but they have to be able to slow teams down. They brought Jim Knowles in from Oklahoma State, 3rd in the country in defense, where Oklahoma State used to be really lousy on defense. Aggressive type coach, I think, which is really going to help with the talent level at Ohio State.
You're going to think I'm nuts. I heard him interviewed, and I was impressed.
Oh, were you? Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get impressed too often.
No, I had this, it seemed like he, without being cocky, he basically said, we have a job to do. We've got to get it done. Never knowing what was on the other side of the ball. They got 48 every game.
Yeah, and that is why Ohio State's so dangerous in that the defense only has to hold somebody at 28 points. You hold them at 28, I'm telling you, 11 games they'll win for sure because they're going to score 35 almost every game.
Well, let me tell you how powerful they are. Their toughest games opener and their 17-point favorite, Notre Dame.
Yes.
That's not North Dakota. That's Notre Dame coming in.
Who we have right in our top 10. Yeah, so that tells you right there. But so that's why Ohio State is one of our top picks. It is my pick to win the national championship. For you Ohio fans, you should be happy that we've done pretty good on this show. And Ohio State, they're loaded. They check mark every position. I mean, offensively and defensively.
I like the kid out Noah's Ark, 2 of everything.
They do.
And they do.
They do.
The guy, you say you should run another guy in there, like a receiver. Someone said receiver sprained his ankle. Okay, so what?
And what Michigan did to them really helps, because now they don't come in very cocky. No. They don't come in, they said,
you think he has that running on the loop?
Over and over.
Absolutely.
He's saying, okay, you guys, I think you're pretty good now. They showed you how good you are.
Hey, by the way, no third downs the second half. Michigan just said, here, do something about it.
And they couldn't. No. That's why they got a new defensive coach.
You're right. How about Georgia 3?
Yeah, as George said, I'm the same way. And Georgia last year I thought was hands down. If you remember late in the year, I said Georgia's winning this thing. And it made me look bad in the SEC championship game because Alabama got them. But I never gave up on Georgia winning it and won some good money on Georgia. Forget how many starters are back for these first 3 teams. It means 0 on the list. Their second teamers are All-Americans. And Georgia's lost a lot of players.
And they played against those guys every day.
Yes.
And they have 40-point leads in a lot of those games. Yes. These guys are not green. Remember that.
They're not at all. And they are one of those places, just like Alabama and Ohio State, that when you get your chance, they'll be raving about you saying, where was he? And that they were the best player in the high school's history. That's who they were.
I used to call Allen. LSU would put like the third. Oh, Master Team. We'll do Master Team because he's in the stinking pros. I call Al. I go, you see this guy here? And then we have a buddy, Buckeye Bob. He said, well, he only ran for 3,000 yards in 1 year.
1 year.
And I said, that can't be. And then you watch him and you go, well, they get 2 guys better.
Yes. And Georgia has Stetson Bennett, and you root for a Stetson Bennett of the world who's really talented.
Yeah.
Was a great high school player, but wanted to go to Georgia. But they had quarterbacks, and they said, "Oh, we'll give you a walk-on place, but we're not going to give you."
And how about this? Given him his stick-to-itiveness, 2 pros left.
Yes.
What's that tell you?
That tells you that when he got his opportunity, he was ready. It tells you, parents out there and your kids watching, when you get your opportunity, do something with it. You will get it sometime. And he knew he was surrounded by great talent, so he just has to throw the ball out there. And there's nobody in the country like Brock Bowers. He's my favorite player in the country. 6'5", 270 pounds, and runs a 4.3. So when he might be 250 or he might be 270, but I don't care. He's huge. He's going to be I'm predicting already. If he does get injured, he'll be the greatest tight end in the history of the NFL.
Right down the middle of that
There's
field.
nothing they can do to him.
Remember a few years ago, the kid from Florida, but he didn't have that bulk.
And Pitts is good,
but
he can't run like Bob. I mean, it's just amazing that this kid was a high school 2 years ago.
And number 4, here's why it's so interesting. Because it's remained a 14 playoff.
Right.
Usually, number 8, 4 or 5 wouldn't matter. 4 matters. And Utah knows they won the Pac last year. They murdered Oregon, 38-10 in the bowl or whatever. But the bottom line is you can't slip up because you know that Southern Cal has brought in a town. Oh, I love Utah.
Yeah, I don't think Utah's slipping up. I just think they're too good. I saw an Ohio State game last year at the end.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fluke at all. Most people have Clemson in at number 4.
Mm-hmm.
George and I don't.
No.
We both love Utah. They are a juggernaut on the defensive side. They get after you super hard. The only team that can move the ball against them is Ohio State, which is, I understand that. But they found their quarterback, luckily. And when Rising went in, he said, "Okay, I'll show you how good I am." George, you remember the game that he got his chance, right?
1 o'clock in the morning, I'm watching 3 overtimes. They do that stupid 2-point thing with San Diego State.
Yep, and they lose the game.
Change quarterback.
Next day, they say, "Rising, you're going to be the quarterback."
Kid left.
And the kid left immediately, and he's taken over. And Tavian Thomas is a great back. Oh my gosh, they're loaded, and it'd be interesting to see. I'm not sure if they brought in some portal players. All they had to bring in was a couple, really, and because the Utes are that good.
Yeah. Kyle Winningham, a little bit about him. I was telling Al, funniest story ever. About 7-8 years ago, they opened with Michigan. This announcer, unknowingly, he said, "Man, that Harbaugh." He said, "Look at him. He's a tough guy." And he was doing the game with my favorite announcer, the guy from Brigham Young, who I love, Trev.
Right. Trev. Yes.
Yeah. And he goes, Trev, he said, "What?" He said, "Well," he said, "let me tell you something about that." On the other sideline, he goes, he's Matic. He said, I played for the Redskins. He said, I lined up against them. First play, I learned I was laying 8 yards back. He said there was dirt in my face.
Winningham put it to him, huh?
He said, so I said, well, I'll try it again. Same thing again. He said, there's another tough guy over there, too.
I don't think Winningham's going to take a back seat to Harbaugh.
No, but he didn't, the guy didn't know.
Harbaugh's a more bigger name. That's why. Oh, yeah, no question.
This guy, he's been there forever. He's a humble man. He doesn't like to do a lot of talking.
No.
He'll let his team play for him.
But I'll tell you one thing.
Are they good every year?
I'm rooting for them, and they're going to be the other team in the playoffs. That's
Do you remember the year they dressed up Alabama in the bowl?
Oh, Alex Smith.
It was 20-0. I was going to my buddies back before
Alex
he had
Smith.
a big screen. Before I got there.
Yeah, Urban was the coach.
20-0.
Urban was the coach. Yeah.
Hey, NC State of 5. This is my team.
Yeah, nobody has them 5. I mean, you can go around the country. They're maybe in the 15th, 12th, whatever.
Yep.
George and I really think they're good. We really think they're not just good, outstanding. 17 starters back, plus some portal players. Most importantly, a great quarter coming back.
Leary, a quarterback?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Hey, give him his stats.
Yeah.
35-5.
Yeah.
Oh, my 5.
Yeah, and plays good every game. Great touch, recognizes going on. Dave Doran is an outstanding coach. They're going to try to run the ball a little better, but I don't worry about running the ball as much as I do as points on the board. And you're talking about a defense that only allowed 19 points a game. Now, I don't sound like at 6 like in 1964, but 19 these days, anything under 20 means your defense is top of the line.
Well, we talk about it all the time. What do you figure he thinks he needs to hold him to win? 27?
Yeah. So yeah,
he's got a touchdown wiggle.
Yeah, he'll score. Yeah, so NC State really, really good. I think the ACC is underrated this year. I do think Miami's much better. I do think Pitt's much better. You never forget Clemson.
The only thing is about NC State, there's one roadblock, and it's at Clemson. But they play Clemson tough.
Nobody plays them tougher than that. No one plays Clemson tougher than NC State.
Well, there you go.
No one. Number 6 was a team that came on last year that's not getting any credit either, and I don't understand why. It's Baylor. Baylor just went through. They tore everybody apart all year. There's no clear-cut favorite in the Big 12. They always say the spots are up for grabs. I'll choose Baylor because of their defense.
Is Dave Aranda the next
guy's going to get a big job?
Yeah.
Huh? But he said he doesn't want to leave. He's so happy there.
Okay.
And if he can keep bringing in players and bringing in people in the portal.
I got you.
They once again only give 18 points a game. We had back-to-back teams. We usually choose with offense. We chose these two teams with defense.
Do you remember that game against Oak State where that guy looked like he was just going to walk in?
Yep, the speed at the end.
And he stopped him at about the 3-inch line.
It was awesome.
It was a game.
Yes, and Blake Shapen looks like he's won the starting job. That tells me how good he is because Gary Bohannon was really good also. Anytime you have a quarterback that beats another quarterback out on a team coming back with a lot of wins. I think that's really impressive. They always have running backs at Baylor. Baylor's been running back you forever, so I don't worry about that either. It's going to be an interesting game when they play BYU because George likes BYU's team.
I have them until. Who made that schedule? Somebody must hate the coach.
BYU.
Oh, my God. The schedule is past brutal. But, Baylor, they go 2 West Virginia, 2 Oklahoma, and 2
You have
Texas.
to go someplace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I laugh when they say the schedule. You have to go play on the road.
You could go to Oak State, Texas Tech, or
and those are tough places to win, too.
They're all tough.
Yes.
We're going to talk about Pac-12, or the Big 12 at some point down the road. When you talk about that league, okay, I'll give you maybe the top team's not Alabama, but I'll take number 10.
That's Virginia.
Against any number 10, other than Kansas.
How many teams want to go into West Virginia and play?
Nobody.
I'm telling you, West Virginia has a good team. They got the Daniels kid move in.
Pitt's going to find out opening game. If they think they're laying down their...
No, both teams are good.
No.
Remember what West Virginia did in the Army last year in the bowl game?
Year before, absolutely.
Year before you last, yes.
No, I do.
Yeah. Oregon, new coach Dan Lanning coming in from Georgia.
Watch them.
Already had many 5-star come in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing Cristobal can do. He can recruit. You saw them beat the crap out of Ohio State, so you know what they...
5 starters returning the line.
See, all of them. Yes.
They played Georgia early, but I think they're getting too many points.
Yeah, if they get too many, I'll have them again.
You had them again at Ohio State. I know you did.
Yeah, I love them in that game. I just don't see because they're talented. Now, teams that play them all year, by the time they get to game 7, they know their speed, how fast they huddle, how fast they come out. I'm thinking that Lanning's going to stay with that, coming from Georgia. They got pass rushers all the time. Noah Sewell always comes after the quarterback. They got the Colorado transfer in, Christian Gonzalez. He's a ball hawker. Oregon's good. We have when our 5, 6, and 7s are completely different than everybody in the country. Watch out all 3 of them. See watch what they do because they're all 3 talented teams, really talented teams.
I think they're going to be favored in every game except Georgia.
That tells you.
It doesn't sound like an 8-win team
to me.
That
tells you right there. It tells you
hey,
right there.
who I'm not a fan of? I'm not a fan of Bo Nix. He'll have to show me.
Yep.
He might be. No, I'm admitting, but I'll have to see it because I'm not a fan.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you watch him 4 plays, you think, oh my gosh, is he great? Mm-hmm. And then that 5th player, he'll fumble it or throw the ball at somebody. I just think he's playing with better players. I do. I think
Auburn offensively
was not great. So I think Oregon has better players on the offensive side.
How about number 8 Notre Dame?
Oh, they're so good, but they have to open up with Ohio State. Now you're talking about Marcus Freeman taking over a talented team, and he don't have to build much. All he has to do is keep playing the way they've been playing.
He's a great recruiter, right? The kids wanted him. Blah, blah. Did you see anything in the bowl game where Oklahoma State, they had him down and just got run over?
Yeah, I didn't count that.
That was his first game.
Yeah, he wasn't there long enough for me to count.
Okay, so you didn't.
No,
okay.
Saw nothing with it.
Okay.
I'm going to take them getting that many points, and I'm a big Ohio State guy. I mean, I Notre Dame has good players.
What's wrong with a backdoor 42,
25?
Yeah.
Notre Dame has good players. I mean, it's not like they're coming in with some podunk players. I know their offensive line is really good, and that's how you beat Ohio State. You take that ball and you run the ball down their throat. They have that kind of offensive line. We're going to see the new quarterback when he comes in, how it's going to work. Tyler Buchner, read up and I've watched film on him. Boy, is he talented. We're going to see if they use his talent. But I know one thing: he's not no stand around jerk stand in the pocket. He can play and except for Brock Bauer, Michael Myers is the second best tight end in the country. Ohio State will have a hard time covering him also. Lock All-American, no question about it.
I was looking at something the other day. Since like 2017 or whatever, Notre Dame's 4th in wins.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, I don't think you'd think that. I think you'd guess Georgia,
right.
You might guess Alabama,
yeah.
You might guess Ohio State. I don't think you'd guess Notre Dame.
No, yeah, I'll lose. I can lose getting 17 points from Notre Dame. I don't think there's a chance that they might be favored the rest of the games.
They are. They go to Southern Cal. We don't know right now what Southern Cal will be. But, hey, I'm no Lincoln Riley. I've never seen him tackle anybody.
Right. Yeah, so Southern Cal didn't make our list because of that. A lot of people have them in there, but they're not good defensively.
No.
Michigan is the great offense coming back. You're talking about got their wide receiver back, All-American back.
Yeah.
Got their running back, Edwards. Oh, my gosh, he's big time. 2 quarterbacks to choose from.
Yes.
The offensive line of Virginia came in. They're our number 9 team. They're not as good defensively. So we're going to find out that comes back to hurt them. But on the offensive side of the ball, Harbaugh has a lot to work with, and they're kind of scary offensively.
And McCarthy and McNamara,
Either one.
they can win with either one.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not that doesn't happen often.
No, not at all. And be interesting who he chooses, because when you see him, it's bad because half the team wants McNamara to play and half the team wants McCarthy to play. But they're both proven quarterbacks can play the game. And
last year they had such a fine year.
Unbelievable year.
I
think they'll build off of that. I do. I think they'll build off that. Yes.
Yeah. A&M at 10.
Yeah, they just got talent. Straight talent, number 10.
Number 1 recruiting class in 22. We know that.
Yeah, just straight out. Jimbo has brought players in. The pressure will be on him to win now. They're not going to say, hey, come on, Jimbo. You beat Alabama last year. If you can beat Alabama, you can beat other teams.
See, you can't lose to LSU.
You can't.
Or you have to win. His season's coming down to October 8th. Right or wrong.
That's what they play again.
And they're at
and Alabama will be ready for him in that one. I think Mac Johnson's going to win the job. His dad or uncle was a pro quarterback.
Yeah.
He fits Jimbo's style, play action pass down the field. Jimbo always has fast guys, and big thing about Jimbo, he can run the football. A&M runs that football down your throat. Dangerous team. For all the ones I just mentioned, the top 10 that I'm not sure about, but it's very dangerous, it's A&M.
DJ Durkin's there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the defensive coordinator, yes.
He's
Yes.
Boardman guy.
Boardman guy, yep. How about that?
Got a bad deal at Maryland. I said it when it happened. I'll say it again.
Yeah, he did.
God bless. It was a tragedy.
It was.
We know it was a tragedy.
It was.
But to throw the blame on him.
All on him.
Is nonsense. And then to go by the reaction to something that was in the school paper.
I'm glad he's on his feet.
Oh,
I'm glad he's coaching. Team is down farther than we thought.
Yeah, we could have them up for.
Yeah, but the reason I see their offense, and I just think it's hard for me to, when you can't get 300 yards a game, how you can get in the top 10. And if they had changed quarterbacks, but they're keeping the same guy.
Ukulele.
He sure didn't look any good to me, Pete. He sure did. I don't care what he did in high school.
This Klubnik or whatever, they say he's ready, but,
if Klubnik was playing, I'd have him higher.
Okay.
But I'm saying that the ukulele, or whatever you say his name.
Yeah. 4 starters back on the line.
Yep. But they ran for. I see that's the ones again. They're coming back, but they were lousy.
And he can't.
I don't know how you can change something.
How about he had 1 game freshman year, went out to Notre Dame, and I'm thinking we got another Vince Young. And last year he took 4 steps back.
Yeah, he can't run. He's a thrower, and you know that you can't run. He always holds on to the ball too long. Whole new coaches too, especially Brent Venables leaving. Their defense revolved around his calls. Now he's at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Clemson, 11's not like they're dog trash.
No.
But on a scale of 1 to 10, Clemson's usually in the top 5.
Hey, I had easy money. I have easiest last year. They had them 11.5, and they lost the opening game to Georgia. I collected 1 game. So then they had losing for him. But here let's turn this around and give him some credit. 10-win season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Never goes on 10.
Clemson was awful. Well, they won 10 games.
Clemson.
Yeah.
No, they're never awful.
Absolutely.
I was talking about. We put them number 11 in the country, not in their league.
And they're not yeah. We're down on them, so to speak.
Right, exactly.
And but no, I like it. And you just think when it's all said and done.
That's my pick. I really like Ohio State. And I wrote, they check all the boxes. They have a great quarterback. And when you've got every position filled with 5 stars all over the field, Georgia proved it last year that Alabama can be beat, but it'd be shocking if it wasn't Alabama. I mean, I got chalk. If Alabama and Armstrong
But here's the thing. You can't not pick them because that's
and
just
I won't do that.
foolish.
I won't do that. I won't be stupid enough to say they're the two best teams.
Yeah.
I just think Ohio State will take Alabama out because of their offense.
Let's talk about some under-the-radar teams. Wisconsin. I swear to God, they use the same guys every year. They just switch those things on the jersey. You know, they fasten them and then they change the name because they play the same way.
Well, they always have a runner that is really a pro runner. This year, Braylon Allen's coming back. He was 17 last year. So you understand how much he's grown.
He had 1,200 yards last year and didn't play the whole year.
Not at all. They say he's the most representative guy of Derrick Henry that they've ever seen. Can Mertz handle the quarterbacking job?
Yeah.
If he throws the ball to the right team, Wisconsin is one of those teams you don't want to play. Like
you don't want to go there for
second
sure.
and 6.
Nope.
It's 3rd and 2, first down.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
And they always have that big tight end.
And one receiver.
They have
can
one
fly.
receiver that you better.
They can fly down the field. Yeah.
How about West Virginia?
Really,
This is interesting.
Yeah, really like their team, and no one's talking about them. They got Daniels in, who was an All-American quarterback. I like Brown as a coach. Their whole offensive line is back. We'll find out right away because they play a good team in Pitt.
Opening game Thursday night. They play Pitt the same night Penn State goes to Purdue.
Yeah, those are two dynamite games.
How about Miami?
But Pitt and West Virginia should be a super game. And everybody, this one's not out of the realm. Everybody has Miami.
No.
So I put them in there. Cristobal has come from Oregon. Gaddis has come from Michigan.
The coordinator?
Coordinator, yeah.
Okay.
And but they do have Tyler Van Dyke. And when you start out with a pro quarterback immediately, you jump up
A
top.
25-6. See, I like the guys. I don't look at the 25 as much as I look at the 6. He doesn't give the ball to the other team.
Yeah. There's nothing better than only 6 interceptions when you throw the ball a lot. He was ACC Rookie of the Year. But people are not. That's not a surprise. People are picking Miami in the ACC. We like NC State more than they do. And there's a final sleeper that's out there, and that's Houston. George talked about earlier in the show that they might land a big prize in a big conference. Cincinnati did it last year.
Yes.
You're looking for a team that represents Cincinnati. It'll be Houston.
And I think since there's a precedent of having a non-Power 5 in there,
Yep.
and now they're going to the Big 12, which will be
Sooner or later, yeah.
Power 5. Who knows, by then it might be an 8-team tournament anyhow. But the bottom line is, that's Holgorsen.
That's Dana Holgorsen.
And he did a nice job at West Virginia. I think he thought,
wins. He's a little wacky, a little different.
Yeah.
But he wins. He wins, and he has a really good team back. Last year they thought Cincinnati had a really good team back. They didn't give him enough credit. Houston has the same team coming back. They open up. You'll find out about them. They open up with Texas San Antonio. And if you ever watched a bowl game last year, you know how good they are. They're really loaded for a smaller team. But yeah, that's the team to watch. Sleeper to watch, Houston.
Okay, we got about a minute. Let's sum it up. We think we're going to see Ohio State, Alabama. We think Georgia, can they get in after getting beat in that thing?
I don't see Georgia winning it.
But it's so crucial. When your loss is occurring, can you get to that championship
game? Oh, no, they can get in.
Can they get in if they lose the championship game?
No.
No.
And then I don't think Georgia's getting in.
Only Alabama gets away with that, right?
Yeah. And Alabama deserves to get away with it.
Yeah.
So they're better than Georgia. And Georgia had their great team last year.
Okay.
Now, they're very good, but they're not great. As George said, there's two teams great, and there's one right below them.
There's a little bit of a nod.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.